Moderna COVID-19 messenger RNA vaccine summary updates. The Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority has committed up to $483 million to Moderna toward accelerating development of the company's mRNA vaccine candidate, mRNA 1273, targeting SARS coronavirus 2. mRNA 1273 is a novel lipid nanoparticle encapsulated mRNA vaccine encoding for a perfusion stabilized form of the spike S protein. The vaccine candidate is among leading front-runner COVID-19 drugs and vaccines. BARDA funding is intended to support late-stage clinical development programs and the scale-up of mRNA 1273 manufacturing this year. Moderna expands its manufacturing capacity from 2 shifts per day, 5 days per week, to 3 shifts daily, 7 days a week. Time is of the essence to provide a vaccine against this pandemic virus, Moderna CEO Stéphane Bancel said in a statement. By investing now in our manufacturing process scale-up to enable large-scale production for pandemic response, we believe that we would be able to supply millions of doses per month in 2020, and with further investments, tens of millions per month in 2021 if the vaccine candidate is successful in the clinic. Moderna selected its vaccine candidate in collaboration with the NIH's selected by Moderna in collaboration with investigators from the Dale and Betty Bumpers Vaccine Research Center at the NIH's National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, a collaboration that began as an effort to develop a vaccine against MERS coronavirus. The first clinical batch, which was funded by the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, was completed on February 7, 2020 and underwent analytical testing. It was shipped to NIH on February 24, 2020. The first participant in the NIH-led study of mRNA 1273 was dosed on March 16, 2020. BARDA Director Rick Bright, PhD, added, delivering a safe and effective vaccine for a rapidly spreading virus requires accelerated action. BARDA's goal to have vaccine available as quickly as possible and preparing now for advanced production scale-up while underway could shave months of development of COVID-19 vaccines. Now, for the other details, throw at random, they're the following. 1. Moderna Incorporated is listed at NASDAQ as mRNA, and it's a clinical biotechnology company pioneering messenger RNA, therapeutics, and vaccines to create a new generation of transformative medicines for patients. This was announced that it has submitted an investigational new drug to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for the company's mRNA vaccine candidate, mRNA 1273, against the novel coronavirus SARS coronavirus 2, led by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, which is part of the National Institutes of Health. Second, Moderna has received initial feedback from the FDA on the safety, reactogenicity, and immunogenicity of vaccinations of mRNA 1273. Number 3, submitting this investigational new drug is an important step in the clinical development of our messenger RNA vaccine against SARS coronavirus 2, and we are moving rapidly to potentially address this global health emergency, said Tal Zaks, MD PhD, Chief Medical Officer at Moderna. Number 4, safe, effective vaccines are critical to ending this pandemic and preventing future outbreaks of SARS coronavirus 2, said BARDA Acting Director Gary Disbrow, PhD. The next steps announced for this particular vaccine highlight the value of collaboration among government agencies, including BARDA and NIAID, and the private sector to move vaccines and other medical countermeasures forward as rapidly as possible. Number 5, an open label of mRNA 1273 is being conducted by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases under its own investigational new drug. Number 6. Moderna scientists designed the company's prophylactic vaccines modality to prevent infectious diseases. More than 1,400 participants have been enrolled in Moderna's infectious disease vaccine clinical studies under health authorities in the US, Europe, and Australia. Clinical data demonstrate that Moderna's proprietary vaccine technology has been generally well tolerated and can elicit durable immune responses to viral antigens. Based on clinical experience across phase studies, the company designated prophylactic vaccines a core modality and is working to accelerate the development of its vaccine pipeline. Number 7. The potential advantages of an mRNA approach to prophylactic vaccines include the ability to combine multiple mRNAs into a single vaccine, rapid discovery to respond to emerging pandemic threats, and manufacturing agility derived from the platform nature of mRNA vaccine design and production. Moderna has built a fully integrated manufacturing plant which enables the promise of the technology platform. Number 8. Moderna is advancing messenger RNA science to create a new class of transformative medicines for patients. mRNA medicines are designed to direct the body cells to produce intracellular, membrane, or secreted proteins that can have a therapeutic or preventive benefit and have the potential to address a broad spectrum of diseases. The company's platform builds on continuous advances in basic and applied mRNA science, delivery technology, and manufacturing, providing Moderna the capability to pursue in parallel a robust pipeline of new development candidates. Moderna is developing therapeutics and vaccines for infectious diseases, immuno-oncology, rare diseases, and cardiovascular diseases independently and with strategic collaborators. Number 9. Nucleic acid vaccines. Nucleic acid vaccines, DNA and messenger RNA, deliver the nucleotide sequence that codes for the proteins that pathogens use to cause disease. The idea is that those proteins will act as antigens that the immune system will recognize. In other words, these vaccines enable the body to innately mimic a native infection to elicit an immune response, but without the ability to cause disease or spread. Number 10. mRNA approach has 3 main advantages over traditional vaccines. First, the discovery stage can be exceedingly rapid because many of these antigens are already identified. Discovery also benefits from significant in silico computer-based antigen design and rapid testing of vaccines in small animal models. Second, production is standardized. It does not involve either pathogens or the development of target-specific cell culture or fermentation. There is no need to grow the vaccine. As a result, a single facility can produce all mRNA vaccines with efficient utilization of a single set of processes, capital equipment, and labor. Third, the vaccine mimics natural viral infections in a way that the immune system recognizes. It's delivered to the muscle and immune cells, which process the nucleotide sequence just as they would do during an infection using viral mRNA inside the body's own cells, but safely. Moreover, because the vaccine is DNA or mRNA, it can be sequenced and produced in a standardized process with fewer, more precisely controlled steps. This renders production faster, cheaper, and less vulnerable to unnecessary batch losses due to batch-to-batch variability. mRNA and DNA vaccines offer extraordinary improvements over traditional vaccines in both modularity and standardization. In addition, nucleic acid vaccines offer the potential to adjust the balance between humoral protection and cellular protection based on the ability to precisely adjust the antigens being delivered. Because of this, nucleic acid vaccines can be designed to address pathogens that are exceptionally difficult to address using traditional vaccines approaches. And then last but not the least, number 11, Moderna is headquartered in Cambridge, Massachusetts, USA. Moderna currently has strategic alliances for development programs with AstraZeneca plc and Merck & Company Incorporated, as well as the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, an agency of the U.S. Department of Defense, and the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, a division of the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Preparedness and Response within the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Moderna has been ranked in the top 10 of Science's list of top biopharma industry employers for the past 5 years. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is one stakeholder with campaign on the global cooperation of the world's total population equal to 7 billion people. And RSC UK, or the Royal Society of Chemists in the United Kingdom, where yours truly is the board chairman, is a worldwide professional organization and would take the firm stand for full support on same vaccinations very soon with no delay and the logic on contingency measures. Final words are this. Let me start with so-called offshore or international stand. It's crystal clear that this pandemic 2019 is a modus operandi on China's bioterrorism. This is a fact. Zero tolerance on any justification or defense. With the Chinese nonsense desire to overpower USA and conquer the world, that won't ever happen as 100% sure. We were made to believe that the technologies here in the Asia-Pacific region were IPRs or intellectual property rights of so-called Asians, but a big no, per an unveiling of the truth, which was later. Asians are so ambitious, very excited to go to USA as they idolize Americans, and proud to develop an American accent. Technology-wise, the secret which was consistent but never defined was to package subcontracting until they master by heart even the distinct thinking of the foreign lands, that later therefore should, little by little, build their own but on no looking back, that such plagiarism is covered by a pseudo-discovery or invention. They may later mimic Harry Potter for the British or royal recognition, which perhaps will be their second target. As far as behavioral assessments, there used to be a big question on why the Asians have this thinking of hiring 100 average job applicants versus one intelligent hire was out of their fear to be the victim this time from their previous plan prior being the company's employer. An intelligent hire is always a threat that their technology, which they stole only from the foreign lands, might be grabbed even for the merits of, say, the Filipinos who were even tagged as the great imitators. The revelations are lengthy and so far even touch the reading between the lines. Right, people? Now, on the lighter side, we have such cliche as love is blind. Is this true? Big no. Why? Because love sees more. And the real reason why, whether rich or poor, or in sickness and in health, the man and woman bond between themselves. However, that's not the case with SARS and COVID-19. You go on to be blind, literally, and that bond will bring you to hell because virus is what you call your forever, finally. Though it's neither a living or non-living, it doesn't replicate, multiply, it's even protected or encapsulated. Same SARS and COVID-19 stays with you even after recovery. That's why you need to always keep in check. In other words, it's a no-cure disease and no joke. Therefore, what now? Is there a fate or even just a hope? Fortunately, there is, but one and only, which is our mRNA vaccine. Now, on the Philippines stand, let me give you some bullet points only. First, reality is that Philippines is still a third world country. Second, believing Moderna USA on the mRNA vaccine and Bill Gates on his also mRNA vaccine campaign on global cooperation is not a colonial mentality, but the wisest decision in terms of logic and being not ignoramus on the fast paces of advanced technology. Remember that Philippines has 99% literacy. Third, relevant to item number 1, we don't have the facility, the funds, even the gross domestic product to already qualify for these advancements. Fourth, expertise is not consistent, even not mature. Fifth, why is there a bounty for producing a vaccine here in the Philippines to combat COVID-19? This is not to help, which is the password, but for the money as its foremost, the recognition, the power, the authority. Are they deserving? Big no. They're ridiculous. It's fatal, but they insist. Most importantly, ignorance excuses no one. Are you likewise reading between the lines in these situations? Better be. Because same with our international stand, COVID-19 is officially declared a no-cure disease. Number 6, praise God for the zero tolerance on China that we have the mRNA vaccine. And the last bullet, mRNA vaccine is to be purchased in USA for the obvious reason of no local existing facility, though later we'll have this in time as an answer to for our healthcare and biopharma industry. It is both preventive and cure for those non-infected and infected respectively. Why? Further to lift the lockdown on May 16. Note that it's May 7 today. We're down to the last 9 days only. mRNA vaccine is 100% safe. Be just injected on each upper arm, or as far as the Philippines, which I take responsibility of, it is an exact protein antidote for COVID-19, wherein it shall be mixed with the mRNA vaccines, so for the also exact instructions to be carried by same mRNA, moreover, shall enable this still your body to manufacture its own medicine, which I can ask, which is safer than this? Where after the reaction mechanism, such wonder mRNA will even facilitate production of new cells inside your body, earnestly to make each one younger for 7 years and true. Why again? It's a regular thing that humans regenerate new cells every 7 years. And with our protocol now to combat SARS and COVID-19, such new lives inside your body are to shine earnestly. Feasibility-wise, mRNA vaccine resolves the technical and scientific, socioeconomic, management, and financial aspects. Market is set aside as we are on contingency measures. Wrapping up, I move this talk for contingency. Seconded for the mRNA vaccine and my exact protein or antidote for the SARS and COVID-19. I rest my case now. This is Malu Gamboa, the board chair of RSC UK and RTC PRC, the Regional Technological Council, which is the umbrella organization of all licensed professionals here in the Philippines under the Professional Regulation Commission, together with RSC UK, which is a worldwide professional organization of licensed chemists, even chemists, medical doctors, and those with master's PhD in chemistry. Moderna COVID-19 messenger RNA vaccine summary updates. The Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority has committed up to $483 million to Moderna toward accelerating development of the company's mRNA vaccine candidate, mRNA 1270.